Hello everyone, welcome to Infinite Journeys. Subscribe and click the bell button now. Everything is connected for a reason, so relax and enjoy the experiences.
When Queene first saw Jodan, she had no idea that her life was about to change forever. In their early 20s, they were both vibrant, curious, and full of dreams. Their friendship began naturally. No sparks, no dramatic beginnings, just two young souls who enjoyed each other's company. They met at a community event in Kuala Lumpur. Queene, always cheerful and full of life, caught Jodan's eye with her easy laughter. He was quieter, observant, and thoughtful. But once they began talking, they realized how much they had in common. From a love for books and travel, to a shared appreciation for traditional food, everything seemed to click. Their friendship blossomed into something deeper. Conversations grew longer and glances lingered. Before long, they were inseparable. They weren't just in love, they were partners in every sense of the word. They made each other better, stronger, and more hopeful about the future. After a year of dating, Queene felt it was time for Jodan to meet her family. She was proud of the man she had fallen for. Her heart danced with excitement as she imagined him laughing with her parents and sharing stories over a warm family meal. And that's exactly how it started. Queene brought Jodan home one Sunday afternoon. Her parents welcomed him with open arms, offering generous hospitality. There was laughter around the table, jokes traded across generations, and stories that warmed the heart. For a while, everything felt perfect, until a single moment shattered the illusion. While walking down the hallway after dinner, Jodan noticed many old photographs hanging on the wall. He enjoyed looking at them. One of it spotted his eyes. It was a wedding picture. A beautiful woman stood beside Queene's father, wearing a traditional bridal dress, smiling brightly. Jodan paused. The woman beside Queene's father looked familiar, eerily so. He stepped closer to the photo and stared at it. His heart began to race. Turning to Queene, he asked,
"How is this lady related to your family?"
The room, once filled with laughter, fell dead silent. Her parents stood frozen, eyes wide. The tension was thick enough to cut through.
"She's my mother."
Jodan added slowly, his voice barely above a whisper.
"That's my mom in the picture. Who is she to you?"
With instant fear, Queene looked at her father. The elderly family members and even Queene's cousins and friends was staring at Jodan. The silence was broken by a soft, shaky voice. Queene's mother, pale and shaken, quietly said,
"Please, Jodan. I think it's best that you leave."
Jodan looked around, confused and hurt.
"Please, someone just tell me, who is my mother to this family?"
Queene's uncle, her father's younger brother, stood up, trembling with anger.
She is the woman who tore this family apart. And you're her son. You don't belong here. Leave now.
Jodan's world collapsed in an instant. Queene stood stunned, her eyes filling with tears. She had just learned that the man she loved, her soulmate, was the son of her long-lost aunt. The very woman who, decades ago, had walked out of the family on her wedding day to marry a man the family never approved of. Jodan was that man's son. The memories came flooding back. The betrayal, the silence, the deep wound the family never fully healed from. Jodan's mother had been a bride once in that very house, ready to marry the man her parents had chosen. But she had eloped with the man she truly loved, Jodan's father, and vanished without a word. Now, the past had returned in the form of their children. Jodan left the house heartbroken, confused, and burdened with the truth. He had unknowingly found his mother's family, the very people she had left behind. The love he and Queene had built was now forbidden by blood, tainted by history, and condemned by those who couldn't let go of the past. Queene was devastated. For days, she locked herself in her room, wrestling with the impossible truth. She had fallen in love with the man who's supposed to marry her from her family. And even worse, the family had already begun searching for a new suitor, hoping to erase the memory of Jodan as if he had never existed. But she couldn't let go that easily. 1 week later, she met Jodan at a quiet cafe. They sat across from each other, holding hands, hearts heavy with emotion.
I can't marry anyone else.
Queene said firmly.
But I also can't marry you unless my father gives his blessing. He has been my hero my whole life. I need his approval.
She took a deep breath.
I've decided to move to Singapore. I'll continue my work as a beautician there. I need time until the family is ready to accept us. I'll wait.
They parted with tears, holding on to hope that love might someday conquer even the deepest wounds. Years passed. Queene built a quiet life in Singapore. She worked in a beauty parlor and made a name for herself as a talented, graceful professional. Though life moved on, her heart remained anchored in the love she had left behind. Jodan, too, moved forward, pouring himself into his work as a business operation manager. But he never stopped thinking about Queene. Their story stayed close to his heart, unfinished, painful, and full of longing. Moved by Queene's story raw emotion, she was approached to give permission to share her story on the channel, Infinity Journeys. She agreed on Infinity Journeys to give a finishing for her story. A happy ending might inspire someone, or perhaps reach the ears of their loved ones saying there is a hope. The story may spread. People may listen, cry, and hope. But still today, the family remained silent. Infinity Journey now continues the story, and wish the best for Jodan and Queene. One evening, everything changed. Jodan's mother sat alone, watching the sun dip below the horizon. She thought about the choices she had made, the pain they had caused, and the love she had found through that pain. She realized she had been running from the past for too long. It was time to go home. She returned to Queene's family home, heart pounding, unsure of what kind of welcome or rejection awaited her. The door opened. The first face she saw was her brother, Queene's father. They stared at each other, time standing still. Then, without a word, he stepped forward and wrapped his arms around her.
What took you so long to come back?
He asked sadly.
I was afraid you'd never forgive me. And when Jodan was turned away, I thought it confirmed everything I feared.
She said.
I was wrong. My pride destroyed too much. I won't let it destroy our children's happiness anymore.
He said. The family gathered that night. Words were spoken, wounds reopened, but slowly, forgiveness flowed. The past couldn't be changed, but the future was still theirs to shape. They made a decision that night. Jodan and Queene would be married, with the full blessing of the family. The wedding was small but beautiful. There were no grand decorations or expensive ceremonies, just genuine smiles, joyful tears, and the sense of a circle finally completed. A year later, Jodan and Queene welcomed twin daughters into the world. Their names symbolized light and peace, gifts of a love that had endured the storms of time. Their realization: the hardest thing is not falling in love, but choosing to fight for it. And every morning, as sunlight streamed through their windows, they were reminded of one truth: love, when it is real, finds its way home. While Key and Martha are on their way to the next adventure, stay tuned for more stories shared by friends from other planets. Signing off, Earthy.
Thank you, Earthy, for the finishing. Thank you so much to my dear viewers and for your great support. To To understand the link, watch our stories from the beginning, do subscribe and click the bell button for more coming up stories. Signing off, Key with Martha.